and welcome back to my channel. My name is Joelle Simone Anthony. I'm also known as the Grave Woman, and in this video we will be briefly discussing the grief associated with abortion. Now, abortion has been a very controversial subject in our country and around the world for several years. And before we get started, I want to make it clear that having this conversation and opening up a dialogue through this video is intended to just simply talk about grief as it relates to having an abortion. I am not here to debate or judge whether having an abortion is a good or a bad thing, whether it's right or wrong, whether you're going to go to heaven or hell. So if this is not a video or a topic that you feel as if you can handle, please go ahead and remove yourself or remove me from your screen by clicking the X in your upper right hand corner. Okay, if you're still here, I assume that you're mature enough to have an open and honest conversation about the grief related to having an abortion. Now, abortion is defined as the deliberate termination of pregnancy, normally performed within the first 28 weeks of pregnancy. In the last few weeks and days, the topic of abortion has become a little bit more prevalent and heated because of the banning laws that are being passed here in Georgia and other states in the US. One of the first things that I'd like to say and just clarify here and now is that regardless of what your grief and mourning are stemming from, as a human being, you have the right to experience and express that grief, just like anyone else experiencing any other type of loss. So let's talk about grief and abortion, you guys. I have had several conversations professionally and as a friend with women, couples, and families of women who have had abortions. And the one thing that I've noticed that has really bothered me in having these conversations is that the individuals involved, particularly the women who have had abortions that I have had the privilege of speaking to, have not felt as if they had the right to grieve the loss associated with terminating their pregnancy. And because they do not feel as if they have the right to grieve or mourn the loss associated with terminating their pregnancies, they're very, I don't want to say damaged, but it's broken their hearts and spirits in a way that they are not giving themselves permission to heal from through experiencing the grieving process. It is defined as the emotional response to the loss of any kind, regardless of what the situation is. And believe it or not, it's not always tied to a physical death. Now, we can debate whether the act of terminating a pregnancy could be considered a death or not, but the bottom line is, in all cases, a life is lost in the process of abortion, and that life is the life of an unborn child. What makes it more socially acceptable for us to accept the loss of a child through a miscarriage and disregard the loss and pain of a mother who's chosen to have an abortion? Is it the fact that one mother wanted her baby and did not, the other did not? Or is it the fact that one baby may have been planned for or was expecting pregnancy and the other was not? There's so many reasons and so many different circumstances surrounding the decision that a woman makes to have an abortion. And the honest to God truth is that once that woman makes that decision, it's nobody's business why she made that decision. And that woman has every right to grieve her loss. that woman's family has every right to grieve her loss. And she has the right to grieve her loss, or that family, that couple, that unit has the right to grieve their loss without judgment and persecution. We all as humans, regardless of our decisions, regardless of our choices, regardless of anything that we could do, have the right to experience and express our grief. It bothers me that there are certain groups of people who are shunned in the discussion of grief, which is why I'm having this discussion here with you today on my channel. If you are a woman who has had an abortion, part of a couple who has decided to terminate a pregnancy, or a family member or friend of someone who has had an abortion, I'd like to open the comment section for you to share your experience, share what helped you through your process of grief, where you are in your grief journey, and what words of comfort can those around you and those of us in society who don't know what to say when someone says, I'm grieving the loss of an abortion, what words of comfort could we offer you? I'd also like to know how you all feel about grief as it pertains to the choice of abortion. My name is Joelle Simone Anthony. I'm also known as the Grave Woman. If you haven't already, please hit the subscription button. Please like, comment, and share this video with anyone who you think may need it or find it interesting and would like to participate in the conversation. Live life, love hard, and I'll talk to you next time.